Hi everyone, my name is Tanika Riley, and well, I have a few names because in my culture, which spans from West Africa to Jamaica to Ireland, names are so important because they give us little clues about why we're here, our purpose. My day name is Ajwa, which means born on a Monday, devoted to helping others, responsible, and a keeper of the culture. And I was so blessed to be given a spirit name by an Indigenous grandmother from Manitoulin Island in Ontario, which is also called Spirit Island. She gave me the name Ebemi Gashkot Kwe. I know, try saying that one 3 times fast. And it means one whose spirit loves to travel in the dream world, but also here across Mother Earth. And I really do love to travel, like my spirit name says. You know, I've been to 15 different countries and I've lived in a few. And I'm so blessed to have learned from other people to see how other cultures exist and how they love and how generosity is shown. You know, I remember learning that Indigenous communities, many of them before European settlers came to their land, had no concept or word in their language for property. So that means that they didn't understand that things like land or your house or clothes or your toys should be owned. Everything was for everyone. In fact, it was also for the generations yet to be born, for the 7 generations to come. I mean, when I learned that, I thought, oh my gosh, that's like generosity on steroids. And you know, when I think about generosity, it's a lot like being unselfish. Someone who's generous, you know, they give of their time, money, food, or kindness to someone in need. And I want to make this clear for all of us, that you do not have to be rich in order to be generous. And I learned that when I took an adventure across Central America. For my old school Golden Girl fans, picture it, Mexico, 2001. My best friend and I, Melissa, were traveling on a bus in Mexico. Now, it's not like a local bus here in Toronto or wherever you live. A Mexican bus is quite different. I mean, we had people coming on and off the bus. We had salsa music blasting from the speakers. We had people coming on with live chickens and barrels of fish and crafts to be sold at the local markets. Melissa and I had to be on this bus because we were traveling from the north of Mexico all the way down to the south for 6 hours. And man, those 6 hours were fun. We were laughing with the locals, telling stories, singing salsa tunes, and we definitely smelt like fish. You know, but close to the end of our journey, the bus driver said, "Aquí," which means here in Spanish. And he waved to us to get our bags, which were way overpacked, and get off. And so we stepped off the bus into total darkness in the middle of nowhere. No, I mean literally nowhere. All there was mountains and valleys and a stretch of road for hours, nothing around. And from the little Spanish that we understood, we realized that we had to wait there for another bus to take us to our final stop. But except that bus wasn't coming for another 6 hours, and it was midnight. So what did we do? We decided, well, we got to find something that's open. So we walked for a while and we came upon a little shop where there was a man sitting outside with a little light on, and thank goodness he spoke English. And we told him what was going on, and all of a sudden, like an older Mexican grandmother, she comes over and is like, "Chicas, ¿qué están haciendo aquí esta tarde?" Which translated is, "Oh my goodness, young ladies, what are you doing here? It's so late, why are you out here? It's not safe." And she proceeded to tell us to follow her to behind her little shop where there was a little kitchen. Now, this isn't like a kitchen that you probably know. It was a little 8x8 room with mud walls. And when we stepped inside, there was a little fire burning with a grill over it for a stove. And on the floor, it was all dirt. There was little chickens walking around and little baby chicks in the corners. It was nothing like I'd seen. But the thing that the lady did next, I will never forget. She asked us if we were hungry. And then she went into her fridge and got food out and made it for us. And man, we were starving and it was so good. But you know, when I saw that she opened her fridge, I saw that was pretty much all the food that she had. And yet she gave it to us. You know, me and Melissa tried to give her money to thank her, and she said, no. You remind me of my granddaughters. I want to make sure, you know, you're full and that you're safe. You know, she told us we could stay in the kitchen till the morning time when our bus came, and she went to bed. And in the morning, her son came and got us, and he walked us to the bus stop and made sure we got on the right bus, and he wished us well on our Mexican adventure. You know, I'll never forget their kindness, and I'll never forget that Mexican grandmother's unselfishness. I've often experienced while traveling that people who have the least are the most generous. And I don't even know why is that. I kind of think that sometimes when you don't have a lot, you really understand and value what's really important in life. People and human connections. You know, I try to be like that Mexican grandmother in my life. No matter what I have or what I don't have, what's really important is how I treat someone else. That's the magic of life. Been around the world from Ghana to Peru, seeing love given through people just like you. They inspired me to write a melody, generosity. I got the clarity. In 2003, me and my friends had just finished university, and instead of getting a job, we really thought we wanted to share what we had just learned. So we researched an organization in the Dominican Republic that worked with kids who came from impoverished communities and didn't have the opportunity to go to school. And we felt that was the perfect place. Except we had no experience, no money, and no clue how we were going to make that happen. But what we did know is that we had this burning desire, this whisper almost, that told us to do something in the world. I don't know if any of you have felt that, or maybe some of you are feeling that right now when you look out in the world and see all the challenges that face us. You know, I understand you, I feel you. And so what could we do? I mean, the only thing I knew what to do was to do what I do best, which is talk. So I talked to that person, and we chatted with that person, and we talked to that person, and we talked to so many people about our vision that after 8 months of bus trips and live shows and bake sales and any fundraiser that you can imagine, we had raised enough money for 4 of us to go and work and volunteer in the Dominican Republic with that organization, thanks to the generosity of our community. Can you imagine that? We were like so overwhelmed. I remember my first day with my class. I was so pumped, I was ready to go. Man, I was que brillante, until I realized that most of the class didn't understand what I was saying. I literally told one of the kids that he looked like a toilet instead of he could go and use the toilet. Oh, it was so embarrassing. However, the kids were so generous. They decided amongst themselves that it was their duty to teach me how to speak Spanish properly so that I could show them what I'd come here to teach. You know, they were so generous with their love and support of me that, you know, after a few weeks together, we got really close. And sometimes, you know, I would teach them something and they would turn around and teach me 2 more things. And I would often wonder, who's teaching who? I especially remember a young boy in my class, Luis Miguel. Now, he was so quiet and shy, but he would always do his best to answer questions and take part in all the activities I had planned. And as you educators know, that is the money shot when that happens, am I right? And Luis Miguel, he would often look at me while I was teaching with this beautiful, deep smile, you know, kind of being like, you can do this, Tanika. And after a while, he started giving me hugs after class every day. And he would sit beside me on the bus ride home, and we would laugh and tell stories. And he would give me little gifts that I know he found on the side of the road as he walked to the program. I felt so much love from him and all the other kids that sometimes when I'd go home, I would literally cry, all happy tears. Because I started to realize that generosity is not only powerful to the people experiencing your kindness, but generosity gets amplified 10 times and comes right back into your heart and changes your life. I remember there was a few more weeks before I had to return back to Canada, and the social worker in the program, she came up to me and she said, Tanika, I see Luis Miguel and he's so happy. He's so different, having been in your class, than when I first met him. You've really changed his life. Now in my head, I was thinking, what are you talking about, lady? Like, all I am is being kind and letting him know that I believe in him and sharing laughter. Like, what do you mean I changed his life? She was looking at me and I could tell that she knew I didn't believe her. So she goes, Tanika, do you know how Luis Miguel came to our program? And I had no idea. She said, I was referred to his mother by some in the community. His mom worked at a resort in Puerto Plata, and she worked long, long hours at this resort, and she didn't have anyone to watch her children. And she was really scared to leave them by themselves because it was a rough neighborhood and she didn't want them to get into trouble. So when she would work really late and long hours, she would lock the kids in the house and sometimes tie them to a chair so they wouldn't get into trouble and she would feel safe while she worked. We got in touch with the family and let the mom know that the kids could come to our program. And I just want to say gracias, Tanika. Thank you, my friend, for your kindness. I was shocked. I started crying. This time it was sad tears. And I realized that you really can change someone with kindness. When bad days hit me, as they sometimes do, I remember Luis Miguel's deep smile. I picture him hugging me with that warmth. And I'm reminded that kindness and generosity, they never go out of style. And that pouring love and lifting up another human being is not only free, it's priceless. And you know, it's all that really matters at the end of the day. Be love in all that you do. I know it ain't easy, I'm human too. It's okay to fail, to falter, to lose your way, as long as you choose love when you wake up the next day. It's critical to pray, but we can't pray our way or pay our way out of this mess. We need to be brave and behave, start a new wave of soldiers of love. I'm a soldier of love. Faith requires action, the building of interactions, the breaking down of faction, kindness transactions. Let's send positive vibrations out into the world. Let's send positive vibrations out into our world. Let's send positive vibrations out into our world. I believe in the power of you. It's time to step up. We're waiting on you. Thank you.